fuel pump. All right, so I'm just about at the point where I can turn this thing on. Let me show you. So this positive cable that runs from the battery right here, comes all the way down along, runs right here underneath, and then if you follow under here, it runs right there, right? So next step I need to do is connect it to the starter stud, which is right there. So gotta get that done, and then that'll complete the circuit, give power. And I should be able to twist the key and light it up. Need to put some gas in the gas tank there first. All right, I'm getting closer to getting the front wheels on, but in order to get the wheel hub connected here, I have to grind down the anti-lock brake system connector here. So in order for it to fit flush and not run into this arm here, which connects to the tie rod back there, I just have to grind that down so it's flat. We don't use ABS on this kit, so no need to have that, and it just gets in the way. Beautiful, all right. Now it's nice and flush on the top so it'll fit. One of the difficult things I gotta do right now, so the kit car came with a shorter front end tie rod, and I've gotta remove this longer one and shift it to the back. So that's gonna take a little bit of work because this guy doesn't come off very easy. But I'm about to put the rotors and brake calipers on so I can put a front wheel on, which is awesome. I am still hoping to fire up the engine in this episode, but I can't, there's just a couple things I can't quite figure out as to why it's not cranking. I'm getting the fuel pump is running, and I'm getting lights on the gauges, the horn works, all that kind of fun stuff. And when I hit the gas pedal, the butterfly opens in the little throttle body there. So not quite sure what's going on. Still got to figure something out there, but gonna get this piece done for right now and get a wheel on there. Progress. Trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong here because this wheel is angled pretty severely. I'm wondering if just lowering it to the ground will help. I don't know. Let me know if you have thoughts on that. Trying to figure out if I connected something wrong, but it looks right. I mean, obviously I've got to connect the steering rack, but that's not what's going to change the angle of the tire here. Dang, I don't know. But how sweet is that? Oh man, progress. Okay, I figured out why the camber was off. Went on the forums, and these guys right here, these brackets, these upper and lower brackets, I had them backwards. The top one needs to be on the outboard side. The bottom one needs to be on the inboard side. Very important. Now it looks vertical. Good to go. Front wheel is done. Oh, that's awesome. All right, currently working on getting the steering wheel installed. I had to put this little bracket here, which basically holds the rest of the assembly to the frame. And then this cylinder here, which allows me to connect what will hold the turn signal. Ugh. This is turn signal, lights, control, stuff like that. And then from there, we'll just put the steering wheel on top of here. All right, turn signal assembly is good. I just need to connect the wires that go to it. To these guys. There we go. Speaking of wires, check this out. we have power. Oh, there we go. Brights were on. Right now it says low fuel and low coolant, which are both accurate. So I'm pumped. We've got power, and as soon as I finish setting up a few other things, I'm gonna try to fire up the engine. Headlights are on now. That was super simple, so I didn't bother with the installation piece on it. The only thing I would mention, if you are getting the kit and you're getting these exact headlights, realize that whenever they come out of the box, they're going to be bolted together for some silly reason. So I guess if people use them as a pair on one side, but you'll have to remove the faceplate. There's a little screw under here. Pop the faceplate off, you can get inside and undo the nut and the bolt that hold them together. Other than that, super basic. I'm 99% certain I can't get the engine to crank because I do not have all of my ground secured. I remembered this cable, which was just up on the shelf over here. Based on some stuff I've seen on some other builds and just remembering that this was actually on the car, this needs to run to the engine harness ground, which is through here, right there. That's the engine harness ground, right behind that hose there. You can't see it that well, but that's the bolt that's right there. So need to get this connected there, and then the other end is going to go to the engine mount. Actually, this is the transmission side, but the mount post right here, or maybe even this screw right here. A big challenge you've got is, or that bolt, a big challenge you've got, I think if I can open that up, I can connect it directly to the metal underneath the powder coating. So that's a big challenge, trying to ground all these guys, and if you just connect it to the powder coating, it may not actually have a good contact. So finding a good way to secure it to the frame, a good spot, and making sure it's got a good connection. So I'm gonna get that one, this one, and I believe that is a ground as well that I'm going to send to that same bolt there. Making sure all those are grounded well, and then I think it will fire up. We don't need these in the back. These are the ABS wheel speed sensors, so I'm just gonna clip those off. All right, it's Saturday afternoon. In between yard work and spurts of genius figuring out the wiring, I finally got it to start. Check it out. So it only runs for about a second. I'm guessing there's some sort of either air in the fuel line or some sort of vacuum issue or a sensor issue that's causing the problem. Got to figure that out. But she's alive! All right, y'all, she is standing all on her own now. I've got some jack stands back here for some wheel chocks because I don't actually have any. And she's sitting in neutral, so she will just roll right out. But she's on her own 4 feet. I'm pumped. Let me know what y'all think of the wheels. If I'm contemplating painting them matte black like the other accents, right? So it's this crimson color and matte black everywhere else. There's a little bit of silver in some places, but I don't know. Let me know what y'all think of those wheels. I kind of like leaving them how it is because it's kind of a nod to the donor car that it came from, the Chevy Cobalt, right? So I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. Just to kind of wrap up a few more things, like this is going to be the end of this episode, but obviously I got to get the wheels aligned. So that's going to come down to the tie rod ends here. Got to disconnect that and thread it back out a little bit so this wheel isn't so far out, so that way it can be angled in a little bit. But I got to flip this reservoir around and mount it up here by the pedal box. I need to finish doing a lot of the electrical work, just installing some quick connects here. So that's good. I need to do a little bit more with the steering wheel. Just need to make some adjustments there. I'm waiting on the seats to show up. Those are being shipped out. And I think what we figured out from an engine perspective, the reason it's dying is the turbo is not connected or set up. So they're pretty intelligent from that perspective, understanding airflow sensors and all that. Here's the here's the mass airflow sensor, and it's just kind of sitting out here doing nothing, right? So when we turn it on, it's not actually sensing any air moving across it. Maybe that's the intelligence there just kills it. But there's also a vacuum tube here that needs to go into the air intake as well, and there's a few other things here. So I'm figuring that's what it is. But I'm gonna go ahead and end this here. I am so pumped. Let me know what y'all think, how this looks. But I'm jacked. This is about what it's gonna look like as a finished product. Obviously the hood is gonna be up here on the front, possibly some side skirts, but I'm probably gonna leave those open. We can do an engine cover, and obviously I'm gonna have a wing up here as well, which I think really completes the look. A lot of this will get cleaned up too. There's, you know, the wiring on the back end needs to be done as well. And the intercooler will be sitting here, which will kind of cover up some of the wiring and tubing. So basically you just kind of get a view of the exhaust. I'm thinking about painting this black, and you get a view of the exhaust up into the turbo, and then you'll kind of see the clean back end of the top of the engine here, and then the intercooler, or not the intercooler, yeah, the intercooler will sit right here. Heat exchangers up under there, but that's it, man. It's gonna get all kind of cleaned up, but ooh, feels good. Okay, last thing I wanted to do was do an audio test with the muffler attached. So it's like 90%, 95, yeah, no, it's like 100, 99% attached. It's just not all the way bolted down. But I want to put the microphone right back here and do an audio test between firing it up with the muffler on and then take the muffler off, having it come straight out of the engine, and see what the sound difference is. Firing it up with the muffler on. All right, let's see what it sounds like with no muffler.